Hi everyone! Welcome to another episode of Sew Not Scary. In today's episode, I'm going to show you how to sew a baby burp cloth. This is going to be the first of a series of short tutorials related to DIY baby stuff. So if you've got a little baby in your family or your friends, or if you're expecting a baby to arrive amongst your loved ones soon, this series of tutorials is going to be perfect for you because you can create beautiful homemade baby gifts on the cheap, and you're going to do it all using your mini sewing machine. So let's go ahead and get started. So let me quickly show you what this baby burp cloth looks like. It's made out of this beautiful cotton flannel fabric on one side and a really soft toweling terry cloth on the other side. They're both 100% cotton. They're both washed, shrunk, and they're completely baby friendly and baby safe. The burp cloth also has quilting lines, not just to anchor the fabrics together, but also to allow mom and dad to fold the burp cloths easily and put them in their baby bags. So they can simply just fold the burp cloth along the quilting lines, and it allows mom and dad to do that very easily, and just simply roll it up and just stuff it inside the baby bag. So when you gift it to mom and dad as well, you can fold it and roll it up like that and tie it with some string or twine or ribbon and make it look really pretty. So let's just go ahead and see how it's done. Before we begin, here's today's question. Is there a special baby in your life for whom you would like to create a small little handmade baby gift? Yes or no? Comment down below and let me know what that baby's name is. Let's go ahead and see how this baby burp cloth is done. I've got this lovely stack of pure white IKEA tea towels that I keep to make little projects like these. So I took one towel, made sure I've washed it, ironed it, dried it properly, and then I trimmed away the edges. Now where the thick bits are, you might need to run your rotary cutter a couple different times, or you can just use a pair of scissors. Just trim away all of those 4 edges. And after this, we are left with a slightly wonky piece of terry cloth or toweling cloth. Now to square off the edges, I folded 2 edges together, line them up, and then use this line on my quilting ruler as a guide to give me a right angle, and I trimmed away the short edge, giving me a perfect right angle there. Now I repeated the same on the other short edge, and now I've got 2 perfect parallel edges that I joined up, and I use this to trim away the longer edges as well, and in this way I was left with a perfect rectangle to work with. There's a rectangle. Now here's my beautiful cotton flannel that I've already washed and shrunk and dried and ironed out. I placed my terry cloth piece on top of it, and just beyond the outline of the terry cloth, I did a little nick with my pair of scissors, and I just simply ripped the fabric down at the nick, and that gave me a good width of fabric to work with. Now again, to roughly trim away the extra cotton flannel, I used my terry cloth as a guide, and using a pair of sharp fabric scissors, I trimmed away roughly some extra fabric. Time to pin the 2 layers together, making sure that the cotton flannel's good side is on the inside. I pinned all the way around along all the 4 edges. And then after I've pinned the 4 sides, I took a Sharpie and I marked out 2 points on the flannel, roughly about 4 inches apart, to remember not to sew in between these 2 points. There they are. And now I placed the lower point underneath the presser foot, and I started off by doing a reverse kangaroo hop right there. And then I sewed all the way around. And this was very quick and easy. I just kept removing the pins. At the corners, I left the needle in and I just swiveled the project by 90 degrees, and I kept sewing all the way around the edge. And the terry cloth is acting as a perfect guide for me to sew a nice straight line. So turning at the corner, just keep going, and near the end as well, I made sure I did a reverse kangaroo hop. You can see it in this video popping up right now. And this made sure that the edges are locked, the edges of the thread are locked, And now I just simply pressed down the seams using a hot steam iron. And this really buries your sewing thread deep into the fabric, making sure that your project is nice and neat. Time to trim away the extra cotton flannel. So I just simply use my terry cloth again as a guide. But you'll see that as we approach that bit where the opening is, I left some extra cotton flannel. And this will help me turn the mouth of the opening easily to help me tuck the edges in. There we go. There you can see it. I also trimmed away the 4 corners just beyond the stitch lines, so it gives me nice sharp corners. And now at the opening, I just turned or flipped the whole burp cloth right side out. This was really quick and easy. I had a generous opening there. And once it's right side out, I use this bamboo poking thing to poke out the 4 corners. Really quick and easy and simple. And then once the corners are poked out, I turned the opening in at the edges, and I use a hot steam iron again to press all the way around the 4 edges, rolling the seams between my fingers to give me nice crisp edges all the way around. So there we are, ironing away, pressing away. And now it's time to close off the opening and sew all the way around the 4 edges. So there's the opening. I place the opening underneath the presser foot. And once again, I began with a reverse kangaroo hop. And then because I was sewing through 4 layers of fabric, and they were rather fuzzy fabrics, I pressed down on my presser foot using a pair of sharp little scissors, just to increase the pressure a bit, and I sewed all the way around. So this top stitch gives the project a nice neat finish while closing off the opening as well. Once again, good sewing practice, always press your seams, so burying the threads inside the fabric with the hot steam iron. Then I folded the burp cloth into thirds, and where that fold line is, I gave it a nice sharp crease to give me a guide to sew along. So that's the second crease line, and a line really helps me. And along those fold lines, I'm going to sew straight quilting lines, which I just did off the camera. And there's the burp cloth all done. It's so lovely. I love the quilting lines. It's beautifully fuzzy, really soft and absorbent, really cushy, very good for absorbing any spills or mopping things up. And you can just roll it off. All done. Isn't it lovely? And those are the corners. They turned out beautifully crisp. I love the way it turned out. I hope you enjoyed today's tutorial, guys, and that it gave you some ideas on how you too can create DIY baby gifts at home on the cheap and make them look really beautiful so you can give them away as gifts to family, friends, and loved ones. Thank you so much for watching. If you haven't done so already, consider subscribing to the channel because this channel is all about beginner sewing tutorials. Thank you guys, and I shall see you guys soon. Bye!